I would ask her to bear in mind that this is a situation where one hand simply cannot clap. And without the support of this side, this process is going nowhere.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for supporting our channel. In today's views, we will take a look at markgolding's response that he gave in Parliament, Marlene Malaho Forte presentation on constitutional reform and the journey towards republic. So my people, let's get into it and hear what markgolding got to say. And at the same time, my people, leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you are new here, welcome to the space. And like and subscribe to the channel, my people, to help the channel grow on my way to 1,000 subscribers. So my people, let's get into it.
Opposition leader.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I thank the Minister for her presentation. I don't intend to say very much today, other than to point out that when the draft report of the Constitutional Reform Committee was shared with me, I put in writing my concerns with aspects of what was being proposed. I got a response to those concerns, making certain arguments, putting certain points forward, and I responded to that as well in writing, in detail. There are a number of issues which are unresolved arising out of that exchange of correspondence. And these are important matters that will affect whether or not the opposition is able or willing to support the bills that are being put forward. I don't know what the content of the bills is. And obviously until I see it, and until we have an opportunity to see it, or see them, because it's two, I understand, we can't commit ourselves one way or the other. I note that Section 49 is to be amended. Section 49 provides the guardrails in the Constitution. It is the provision that sets out how the Constitution is amended. It sets out different procedures for amending different aspects of the Constitution, depending really on how fundamental those issues are. So there are some amendments to the Constitution that can be done by simple majority in each House. There are others that require a 2/3 majority of the members in each House. And in the Senate, as is well known, the governing side does not have 2/3. So amendments which require a 2/3 majority can't pass without the opposition being on board. And then there's a third category which require not only that the legislation be passed by that majority, but also that it be approved subsequently by the vote of the people, in what's referred to as a referendum. Originally, my understanding was that what was being proposed in the first phase of the reform process was to get over those things that would require amendment by referendum. Therefore, the subsequent reforms would be things that don't require a referendum. Now I'm hearing that Section 49 is to be amended to make it that much easier to deal with those reforms that don't require a referendum. I'm not sure why it's considered necessary to do that, given that the guardrails applicable to those amendments which don't require a referendum are either a 2/3 majority of each House separately voting on it, or if it's something relatively unimportant or relatively uncontroversial, which is not subject to any form of entrenchment, a simple majority which the government has the capacity to pass on its own. The Constitutional Reform Committee did not get into any discussion as to the structure of Section 49, which is a very complex provision, and was no doubt the subject of a lot of consideration by the persons who originated the Constitution prior to independence. We have not been consulted on that matter, And I consider it necessary to see that. I think something of that nature ought to be shared and subject to some amount of consultation between the two major political parties before embarking on it, because it is likely to be something which is going to be scrutinized very carefully, given the importance of the guardrails in the Constitution. So, while I understand the Minister's anxiety and the desire to move forward as expeditiously as possible, I would ask her to bear in mind that this is a situation where one hand simply cannot clap. And without the support of this side, this process is going nowhere. And we have put on the table issues of real concern, and unless those are addressed, our support is not guaranteed. And I have not heard anything over it's probably more than 6 months. I can't even remember when the report was, I think, finalized around March, April. We're now in December. I've had no interaction with the government on this matter since I submitted my final letter in that fairly short period of correspondence when the report was being finalized. It doesn't augur well for consensus when we proceed like that. And I would suggest that they may want to take some time to engage the opposition on our concerns if there's a genuine hope of moving forward to passing this legislation. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Opposition.
Loyal viewers and subscribers, honorable people, give thanks for your support to the AVI-NUE. Know that I appreciate you sincerely. New viewers, welcome on board. Know that your presence is appreciated. Please subscribe to the channel and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. United we win.